Hello from gardening at Douentza here in Ireland, and this video is about orchids, but orchids that are actually in the greenhouse, cold greenhouse, or out in the garden. And first up is this noid yellow Cymbidium I've had for several years, and it really is a joy in spring. The first of its spikes is opened now, or nearly opened, and that one is still closed, but it's a beautiful little thing. Quite small, but lovely. Now I do notice that some of the petal tips here in the greenhouse tend to brown. I noticed it with the white Cymbidium earlier on in the season. I wonder, is it from too much light or what? Because it never happens in the house, but that's a shame. But yep, gorgeous thing. And beside it we have the pièce de résistance. Yes, it's the Black Cymbidium. Let's go in. Some of the flowers are a bit upside down, so I have to show you them the way up they are. There's one. Now that really is quite dark. I would go as far as to say that lip is black, and the petals are, well, they're very dark, let's just say. So I'm very pleased with this. The flowers aren't enormous. Look, there's my hand. I suppose about the size of the yellow ones we just looked at, so not one of the larger flowered ones, but they're just gorgeous. There's a final shot of those beauties again, and just to compare them with a bigger flowered Cymbidium, here's the red one I showed earlier. That's really very faded now, but as you can see, these flowers are a lot bigger. That's really on its way out, but it was good while it lasted. And if we go over here, we can see past the Tibouchina. Pretty little variegated Tibouchina. Flowers still purple like the ordinary Tibouchina. But here we have my Coelogyne, the one I repotted last year. And it's rewarded me with a spike with, how many flowers? 3 flowers. 1, 2, 3. And I think there are a couple more spikes coming. So, I mean, you know, they don't like root disturbance, and yet it was repotted last year, and still it's managed to flower, so I'm quite pleased with that. And let's take a look down the back now at the Disas. And here are my Disas, and as you can see, this one here is producing a very nice bud. This is the orange uniflora one called Firebird. And it didn't flower for me last year, so I'm delighted to get flowers this year. They tend to flower every second year. Here's another of the same. Gorgeous. And surprise, surprise, I'm getting a bud on this one. Now this one is Sandra, which did flower for me last year, so that's a nice it's a nice surprise. I can't see anything else brewing in there yet, but well, 3 is good for me. So we're going to try and manoeuvre now up the greenhouse and out into the garden to see the Hardy Orchid Bed first. And you may recall I talked a lot about this Hardy Orchid Bed last year. In fact, it looks like it's in the ground, but there isn't much soil in this bed at all, because it was all completely excavated to house the Hardy orchids. And our first port of call is that little yellow one over there. It's Calanthe tricarinata, and it's a joyous little one. Unfortunately, I planted it at the back, so it's just that bit hard to photograph. Really quite pretty. And perfectly hardy in this bed. In fact, a friend of mine, Jimmy Blakes, who grows this in the ground in a woodland area, just in ordinary soil. And in front of it is another Calanthe, discolor, which isn't doing much yet. But look over here at Epipactis gigantea. It has spread. There's a runner. Again, I'm not sure this is one you actually need to put in a hardy orchid bed, but I did anyway. And here's the first of my Cypripediums. This one is the white one with a touch of pink, called Ulla Silkens, and it's a while from flowering yet, but isn't the foliage just gorgeous? And in front of it is Aki Pastel, which is hard to photograph, my goodness. Anyway, that's the first of its flowers that's opened this year. And finally, who remembers the trade I did? I'll put a link to that video up above, but it was a trade with someone who sent me a wonderful Cypripedium. This one, and it arrived when I was in England, and I was a bit worried that it had desiccated a bit, and I didn't know whether to put it in a pot or put it straight in the ground. And in the end I put it out in the ground in the Hardy Orchid Bed. And then there was a lot of worry as to whether or not I'd planted it too deeply, whether it was going to come up. But look at the size of these blooms. They are massive. Big pouch. This one apparently is called Sabine, and look at his hairy ears. Or her hairy ears. It's just amazing. And the best thing is that I have more flowers coming. There's another one coming there. And one more here. So I'm absolutely delighted with this one. It's also quite low as well, so it means that there's less staking that has to happen. And if you compare it to the other one I have previously, the Aki Pastel, it really is far superior. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a little kind of sneak preview, let's just say, because I was delighted when I saw this one opening up. But we'll be back again to see this bed when it's looking its best. And just to make this video a bit complete, I thought I'd come over here to the west part of the garden to show you my Dactylorhiza, which are also planted in the ground, but this time really in the ground. I think I mixed a bit of grit in there, or a bit of perlite in there when I put them down first, but there was none of this excavating of the earth to and replacing it with bark and perlite and other things like that. And these are doing really well. So that's one of my bog planters with Arisaema about to bloom, and below it I have these two Dactylorhiza planted, and no blooms yet, but they will come now. These are really tall ones, purple obviously, and they have spires of purple orchids on them. Very nice. We'll come back and see it again in a little bit. Hey, look in between them. Did you notice this cute little Arisaema? Isn't he a sweetie? And look at his long tongue. He's hiding behind his leaf. Let's see if we can put the leaf over the other side. There he is with his leaf wrapped behind him. And he's quite happy here in with the mouse plant and the two Dactylorhiza. Okay, so that's it for the moment. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you liked this update on, well, my greenhouse and outdoors orchids. And I hope you'll check back for lots more fun. And please do check out my book, Journal of an Irish Garden. The link to where you can buy this book is in the details of this video, and it would be just wonderful if as many of you as possible could read it. I'm sure you'd like it. I'm sure you'd find something to laugh and detain you there. Okay, that's all for now. Bye!